Alright, it seems that you're all charged up? Yes! Little more energy, guys, yes? Yes! Alright. Okay, thank you so much for the incredible performance. Okay, now it's time to hear from our esteemed clients. As excited as we are today, I believe Brooke, Todd and James are equally excited as us. So let's hear from them as to what they have for us. Please give them a huge round of applause as I welcome James, Todd and Brooke on the stage.
Stage today, proper stage today.
All right.
Proper stage.
Well, hello, Hexaware. How are you? Hello.
Hello.
Well, I just want to say thank you all for having us here. We always feel so welcome when you guys bring us here. And I hope you'll be okay with it because when I look at it on you guys, got the Hexaware shirts on, but we're going to say, when we're up here talking about Luminaire, we're going to say a lot of we's, like we. When we say we mean you and us together. May even refer to you as Luminaire because you're really part of our family. We don't distinguish Hexaware as being any different than my coworkers back home. So a lot of we's and a lot of us. So once of all, thank you again for having us here. I think we're going to start with, I think Todd's going to do a dance. I don't think you want me to do a dance, especially after seeing that. But, yeah, that was very impressive, so thank you. All right, well, we do have a presentation we want to do, but I didn't think, before we even get started, I know when James, I think you said he went around and you were asking people how long they were here, right? All right, so I have my own version of that question. I have my own version of that question. So, all right, so How many of you have met or seen me here before? All right, so I've been here. I was here 5 years ago, and this is my 5th trip out here. And so a lot's changed though. Yeah. I mean, so much has changed, and I think that's going to be a lot of what we're going to talk to you about today a little bit, about things that have changed. I know this day, as Harish was saying, is really about you, and it really is. And we want to celebrate you and all your contributions that has made our company, a success. Everything that you do is very material to everything that we do. If you learned nothing from today, and I think we'll hear it a couple times today, is we cannot be successful without you. Absolutely cannot. Our success is your success. So I will spend a lot of time up here today, and folks will too. We'll talk a lot about, celebrating what we've accomplished together to this point. But if for nothing else, I want you guys to learn a little bit about, just a tiny bit about Luminaire and what we are about and how we're different than we used to be. And not just how we're different, but how we're going to continue together and how good our future together is going to look in the next few years to come. All right?
You know what they say about strangers? You know, they're just friends you haven't met yet, right? So I want to say thank you for the hospitality, right, to the Hexaware leadership, and really good meeting all of you here today. We look forward to deepening that relationship with you all. I want to thank you. Being probably the newest member to the Luminaire Health executive team, it means so much for the hard work and dedication that you guys have put into the work that you perform with us, whether it's claims, whether it's data capture, whether it's on the eligibility side, as Brooke mentioned, the services that we perform for our clients. When you think about it, what we are providing is probably one of the most important services you can provide to somebody. It's helping them get access to the necessary health care that they need, right? That's what we do, right? While we may process eligibility, capture information from a claims perspective, or even process claims, what you are doing is providing accessibility to healthcare in a quality manner to the customers that we serve. So that's something that we don't normally think about as part of our work, but what you do is extremely important for our success and for the health of the people that we serve, right? You're going to hear a lot of that in our theme today is around service excellence and the services that we provide with our clients, and you are an essential element to that. We are an essential element to that. So thanks.
I'm going to do a little off the cuff here. So I'm mostly here to carry their bags. But I will say, without going through my career history, I've been with, take the pick of which name you want to use, Benefit Trust Life, Trustmark, CoreSource, Health Benefits, Luminaire Health, over 29 years. When I started my career, I did claims and eligibility. So trust me when I say I have an appreciation for what you have to do, and absolutely appreciate everything that you contribute, and you know, it really does, what you're doing makes a difference to members' lives. So thank you for having us. Thank you for all your work. You've been extremely gracious hosts. And yeah, I mean, the friendship part too, right? Friends that you haven't met yet. Even on this trip, there's a number of folks here that I've worked with for years that I've only met on video or in email that I've actually got to see in person. Ash, that was a great example. And made new friends already since we've been here as well. So thank you very much. We appreciate you guys, and peace.
Okay, I think so. We're gonna start showing you a few slides here, and I hope you learn a little bit about sort of Luminaire and what's been happening and changing. But right from the start, let's see if we can get that up there. Is it up there? All right, well, while they're getting that up there, one of the things that I wanted to make sure that you all knew was is someone missing from our little group here, and I did promise him I would talk on his behalf, although we brought a message from him. Oh, thank you. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so one of the persons missing is our new CEO, Craig Julian. He really wanted to come, actually, and I know you hear that a lot probably, but he has a ridiculous schedule. So it is one of those situations where he just couldn't make it out here. But he did send a video message for you all, so I think I'm just going to play that. Next slide.
Hello, Hexaware, and Namaste. This is Craig Julian, CEO of Luminaire Health. Today I want to honor all of you and the partnership that we've had for the last 20 years. We are so grateful for your investment in your time and your expertise to help service our customers over this period. Everything that you do matters. Our vision is service excellence in everything we do, and that extends to you as well. Service excellence in everything you do, because without you, we couldn't do what we do here for our end customer. I used to live in India. In fact, I lived in Pune, Maharashtra for about 1.5 years, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I met some phenomenal people. They showed me things that I never could have been imagined there. The work, the intelligence, the passion that people have for doing their work every day. And I'm sure that's the same way that you feel about the work that you do there with your friends and your family and your team members. So again, thank you for all you do. I want to share a couple of experiences I had there. One was just the generosity and kindness of all the people that I met, both that worked with me there, that were my employees, and as well as anybody else. My first Christmas there, over the holidays in December and January, I decided I wanted to go learn to paraglide. Now, why did I want to paraglide? It's because I'm an active skydiver, and you'll see a short clip video of that when I was in the US, and I didn't have a chance to do that when I was in India. So I found a place that would teach me how to paraglide, and I found it about an hour from where I lived in Pune, and spent a weekend with some amazing people, some gentlemen from Mumbai, some people local there in the Maharashtra, Pune area, as well as from all over the world. And it was one of those bonding experiences that I won't ever forget. It was a magical weekend. It was a great way to spend Christmas. So I always fondly remember that, and paragliding was the closest thing I could do to skydiving. So am I a risk taker? Not necessarily. But I do want to thank all of you again for everything that you do every day to help make Luminaire Health and our client satisfaction as high as possible. Thank you, and namaste.
All right, well, there was a message from Craig. I know he worked really hard on that. He actually talked to me and made sure that we saw that. A couple of things about that. Craig is selling himself short, by the way. Craig is a tremendous athlete, I would say. Everything from marathon running and all that. When he says he's a skydiver, by the way, he holds multiple world records in skydiving. So that's not just anything. And I think the last comment made me laugh a little bit. But James and I both report to Craig. So when he says, I'm not a risk taker, I agree with that. He is not a risk taker. One of the things that you think he is, but he's not. It's because he works really hard to make hard things not risky. He does a lot of work, but he brings the work with him. So if there's a guy who brings the work, brings it to work every day, that's that guy. Definitely him. All right, well, I actually have one more video for you. And like I said, I wanted to make sure that you had a feel for who we are at Luminaire. So we put together a really short little sizzle reel for you guys. All right. benefits you as much as it does us, right? So we are on a mission, right, to make healthcare more simple and affordable and accessible for everyone. And I think that's a really good message. So with that, let's do a little homework. Let's take a look at a little thing, a little bit about us. So I think, James, you're going to talk a little bit about our mission and vision that was on that screen.
Yep. Can everybody hear me? From a mission perspective, we're dedicated to making the healthcare experience simpler, better, and more affordable for clients and their members, right? What we do oftentimes can be complex, right? Just like Craig mentioned in his video about skydiving, it's obviously a very risky and complex activity, right? Lots of checks, highly risky, lots of checks that are required. Same thing for what we provide to our members, right? Navigating the healthcare system in the United States is extremely, extremely difficult. Many people don't really know, right, the inner workings of the process for how that works, right? But our job, our responsibility as administrators is to make that process simpler, right, and seamless to them so that they can get access to their care. In order to do that, right, we need to be able to take into eligibility, right, who's part of the plan, who are their dependents, what plan should they be what plan should they be enrolled in, and then obviously maintain that information over time. That's a very complicated activity to perform, especially with the myriad of different plan designs that they have available to them, right? The piece of where the affordability comes in, it comes with our ability to process and make that activity as simple as possible, right? And you are an essential element to doing that, right? We effectively want to start leveraging these processes to become more streamlined, more standardized, more automated as well, right? So our goal is to not only do the work, but to continuously improve, right? So our job is effectively to try to do all those things for the benefit of making that healthcare experience simpler, right, and more affordable for our customers, right? And the way that we do that is through our vision, which is through service excellence, right? We all have customers, right? As an operations organization, right, our customers, right, are the members and the clients that we serve. We also have customers with respect to our sales partners, as well as those that manage the account and interact with our client customers and groups on a daily basis, right? What does that mean though? It means upon delivering upon our commitments, right? Setting expectations, being active communicators in the experience, and providing people with constant updates, right? And doing it with respect, right? As I've traveled through here in such a short amount of time, I see it in the faces and I see it in the interactions that we have. This organization, this people, have a tremendous amount of respect and mutual respect for each other. And it's seen through the interactions that we have with our clients, right? So, that I think that culturally speaking, this organization, as well as the Luminaire Health organization, really pair well with each other, right? It's even interesting too, at the start of the ceremony, we lit the candle, right? From an organization perspective, right, we're called Luminaire Health, right? Lights, right? Lamps, right? So very similar in that respect. From a guiding principle perspective, a lot of this I've already discussed, right? We speak with empathy, we put ourselves into other people's places, right? What we are doing is a very important service that we're providing. We always need to keep that on the forefront of our minds, right? I get it, we're processing eligibility, we're processing claims, those are activities, but it's the lives that we touch beyond the activities that we perform is the thing that I think that we all need to continually think about, right? We are sort of helping people get people through very difficult challenges within their life, right? Going to the hospital, accessing care, right? You think about this in your own lives and with your families and friends, right? You want the best for them, right? That's what our jobs and responsibilities are for. We deliver upon our commitments, right? When we think about the work that we perform, we were talking about it this morning. One activity has a ripple effect on downstream activities in the things that we perform, right? When you think about the healthcare experience from an administration standpoint, right, we build the plans, right, we create documents, we process eligibility, and we ultimately pay claims. If our eligibility is wrong, there's certainly a possibility that the claim will not be paid correctly as well, right? So we need to be able to deliver upon our commitments and communicate to each other when we're not able to do those types of things, right? Coordination is essential in the work that we do, right? We strive to create the best outcomes for our customers and organization, and we thrive when we fulfill our promise of service excellence, right? That's an interesting statement there, right? We strive for the best outcomes for our organization and our customers. Sometimes that means working outside of our process to do what's right for our customers, right? I get it, we have a mission and we want to have 100% process accuracy and financial accuracy for our claims, right? But at the end of the day, right, sometimes we need to do what is right for our customers, right? And we need to fulfill our obligations and our promise, especially when it's instances where there were perhaps internal issues in the way that we processed, right? We need to have that level of flexibility in what we do, right? We communicate with our customers in mind, right? Again, we always think about the customers and the way that we interact not only with them, but the way that we interact with each other when there's an issue. Right? When there's an issue from a claims perspective, oh, that person isn't eligible for claims, or that person doesn't have the right benefit. Well, let's talk to the folks over on the eligibility side to make sure that was processed accurately, right? And we learn and we evolve from our experience, right? I'm okay, right? I'm okay with us having errors and issues. We're an administration business. There are always going to be issues, right? And I'm okay with that as long as we learn from those experiences. Learning is key, right? It's expected in life. When you are successful and you're doing everything right, are you really learning? No. It's the things that you do in adversity, right? To get better every chance that you get. And I recognize that this last cycle was a difficult one, right? This last cycle was a difficult one for everyone. It tested our patience, it tested our resolve, and it tested our patience, not only with ourselves, but with the entirety of the organization. Right? I'm okay with that. Our commitment to you is making sure that we understand everything that happened, understand those root causes, and identify things that we can do to improve such they don't happen again, right? So again, learning is a part of life, right? Enjoy it, accept the feedback. Feedback is a gift. That's something that, we all should embrace in our lives.
Wow, that's great. So I don't know about you, but I took a lot away from that. As you're the COO and I'm the COO, I'm so glad that he's tolerant of mistakes. And when I make mistakes in the future, I'm going to tell him, "Hello, James, I'm learning. I'm learning."
Fantastic.
And he said in front of witnesses, "I'm okay with that." That's awesome.
We got a video recording as well. So.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Well, a few things
Except for you, JD.
So a couple of things, there's a lot on this slide. I'm just going to run through some of it. A couple of things that, like I said, I want you guys to feel not just about who we are, but like, hey, you're growing, and we're growing together. And I want to give you a sense of some of that. So a couple of things here on this slide. So I'm going to actually talk a little bit about the two graphs first. Look at that rocket ship of us. I mean, so we are now almost, I think we are, on the last top, 1,400 employees.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
We're 1,400 employees now. Look at that from 2022 to where we are now. That is incredible growth. We just don't add resources without the revenue. So we are growing as a business and really growing quickly. So that's wonderful. And then, if you look at the employee medical life, so at the end of the day, our mission is to deliver value to customers. Well, another indication of how successful we are is how many customers we have, right? So now we have over 1 million medical lives under management. So that is a fantastic thing for you and for us. So those are big things. All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that timeline that you see there. I'm standing in the way, actually. I'm going to talk a little bit about that timeline there that you see that talks about 2018 through today. Now, a lot of us, we've been talking a lot about our relationship with Hexaware and how that's gone back 20 years, right? But a lot has changed. It changed recently. So in 2018, that's significant because HCSC became a client. Not an owner, but they became a client of ours. So they started working with us. To be honest with you, a little inside baseball here from management team. Even in 2018, we kind of felt, oh, this is not your normal client. They're big, and at some point, if we do a good job for them, it could lead to good things for us. And actually, there was even a few whispers that said, hey, if we do a big enough job for them, one day they might just buy us. And lo and behold, that happens, right? So here we are, we get to October of 2022, and HCSC just does that. They give us they purchase us from Trustmark. So that's a little melancholy at the same time. I'm a 35-year employee, and I had 30 of those years with Trustmark. So no bad feelings about that. I love Trustmark, but this was a big deal to us. Just to give you a sense of those two graphs, my last 10 years with Trustmark, those were basically flat. So we were gaining lives, but we were losing lives at about the same rate. Here we are, we got purchased by HCSC, and in 2022, look what happens on those charts. So it starts to go, and as they grow, like I said, we grow. We finally become Luminaire Health in 2023, yet another name, right? So I think this will be the one we have for, I'm gonna go, a couple years? We'll have this one, we'll have a couple of years on this one, right? So this is our fourth or fifth one, but we like rebranding, so we're there. There's actually a typo on that slide. It does talk about that rates to July 2024 is when we hit the 1 million member lives under management. That's a huge one for us. HCSC very much counts that. It's a really big thing for them. That's one of the things that they kind of say how big they are. If you don't know this, by the way, Luminaire Health is the third largest TPA in the country, right, in the US. And we are absolutely gunning for number 2, right? We're going to try and go for number 2 with all your help. So hopefully that'll make that happen in the next year or two. Let's put it this way: we're stalking it, and we can see it from here. Right?
That's right.
All right. So, and then the last thing I'd say, just mildly, is we're expanding. We're doing more things. We're asking you to do more things. So it says a lot about our partnership, right? Like you see 2024 behind those names that don't mean much to you, those are actually new product names. That's us developing more capabilities, new products in the market. HCSC is driving investment in us to develop out and grow. Grow not just vertically, horizontally as well. So it's a really big thing. So I think one of the most important things that you should take from this is, HCSC is looking at us, they made a huge investment in Luminaire, and they want us to grow. And what do? We turn to our biggest and most important partner, you, to help us do that. So that's a really big part. This is just a repeat of that. I just wanted to re-emphasize these things. Even though we've added a tremendous number of lives, like I said, last year we added over 185,000 lives in 2024, which is unprecedented. So when I said we were flat for years, imagine growing at that rate in 1 year. Hey, I've heard that India has a pretty good cricket team. Is that true?
They do?
Pretty good. They have a pretty good cricket team, right? So that's at least so I've heard. So actually, we had a wonderful time celebrating that with some of the folks. So that was wonderful. But so and I went on a little bit of tour and saw a little bit of great city this time out. So I just thought I'd share this picture. This picture is of our great city. So that's Chicago, right? So that's our home of Luminaire Health. And that stadium right there is the home of our favorite team, who is not very good, and that is the Chicago Bears. So that's the Chicago Bears team. And the reason I'm showing that is, that stadium holds 65,000 people. 65,000 people. When you sell 185,000 people, that's 3 of those. So in 1 year, we filled that thing 3 times, right? So that's great.
By the way, you should point out there, you can see HDSC from.
Hold on. You're stealing
Wait,
it.
there's more?
Todd, want to tell us what that is?
In case you can't see it, it's right here. So this is actually HDSC, our owners.
Yeah, I should have been more prepared and done the math in advance, but so somebody in the room smarter than me. So I'm gonna say, if you have 1 million lives under management, that's like 15 of those stadiums filled up. So anyway, that's a good visual for it. When you think about how many lives were impacted, just imagine yourself in a stadium with 65,000 people. Well, we filled 3 of those last year. So that's great. All right, James.
So, obviously, a lot of what we do is based upon, and what we can do in the future is going to be based upon client sentiment, right? What you call, net promoter score, the feedback that we get from our clients as well as our brokers, right? The way that we sell out in the market is leveraging benefit brokers, right? And they who in turn sell to their customers as well, right? So when you think about who Luminaire Health's customers are, they're actually 3 customers. Right? There's the broker, right? That gives you the ability to sell to different organizations. It's the organizations themselves, right? Their CFO, their head of HR and benefits, right? Those are the folks that you interact and are the gateway into your employee base. Right? And then the third, obviously, is the member itself, the employee. Right? This is a very complex web of relationships, especially from a sales perspective, and certainly in the way that we service our customers. Right? Whenever there's an issue, right, the member will have an issue. If many members have an issue, they're going to tell their employer group, and ultimately they're going to talk to their broker as well. So those people are very important and influential in our ability to retain our customers as well as get new ones, right? So what do they say about us, right? 85% of our clients and 81% of the brokers say that we are very easy to do business with, right? That's a phenomenal thing. Right? That's having service with a smile, asking the right questions, not repeating the same questions over and over again like most other healthcare companies do, right? Getting the information that you need at the right time when you need it, right? 77% of clients and 78% of brokers are extremely satisfied with Luminaire Health. That's phenomenal work. Again, it's not without all the hard work and dedication that you have all had, in servicing our client, not only for just a couple years, but for many of you, many of your entire working careers. So thank you very much for that. Right? One of the most difficult things that you can do in our business is to retain your customers, right? Healthcare, brokers, TPAs like ourselves, drive to the lowest cost and try to make the most effective use of a person's dollar and have it dedicated to healthcare, right? That's the goal, right? We want those to be paid, right, for the services that we provide, right? So one of the key ways that you do that is providing an affordable product and providing excellent service. And we, I think, are successfully doing both of those, and that's certainly sort of apparent in that 96% number. That's well above industry. So I expect and hope that we can continue to do that.
One of the things that I was hoping that this resonates with you guys. So I just had a slide previous to this, right? It said, wow, look what we sold, 186,000 lives. You know what, though? Good salespeople, good products, they are able to sell on a promise to deliver. That's a different number. That number, retention, is you guys. That means you delivered on a promise. That's why they stay. They stay because of the work that you deliver on promise. I think we can run through this really quick, right?
Yep. So growth, right? Well, what we're trying to do, I get it. 2 outsized years of growth, and we continue to have aspirations to continue that trajectory into the future. As Brooke mentioned, right, that requires us to go deeper with our clients, sell more services, but also expand from in different markets and opportunities as well. So as we look to expand, right, we're going to be looking to partners that can help provide us with that scale, right? So you guys are going to be a very integral part of our growth story, right? Service excellence, again, that is never going to change, I think, as part of our goal statements from year to year going forward, right? Service is in our blood. It is what we need to do. When you think about healthcare and the services that people expect, it's such a very personal thing, right? It's not something that you can just do digitally, right? These days, there needs to be some level of interaction, especially during claim time when there's an issue, right? They need sort of that personal connection with people through that experience. And financial stewardship, right? With growth, right? You can't just add the same amount of resources from year to year to sustain that growth, right? You got to get faster. You got to get better and have higher quality work with standards and policies and automation, and so what we intend to do with that money is to reinvest into our business responsibly, right? And certainly from a people perspective, right? We are powered through the people that we serve. There's only so much within our business that our technology can help automate, right? We've got legacy, challenges from a technology perspective, right? So that will require us to invest more into our people, right? And deliver with them additional capabilities, not only to service our customers, but also for them to grow in their careers, right? People to advance, not just start managing people, right, but also growing depth into their career so that they can grow and expand in a variety of different ways.
All right. So another one I'd call out here that I hope draws your eye is when I think about these goals, the one that stands out to me for you guys is when I look at financial stewardship. Now, hold on, that might not be the one you think like, well, what does that really do with us? Well, I will tell you something that's interesting. I would say, as we have grown with you, we have put more and more of our core functions with you folks. So as you grow, on the other side, it shrinks, right? So the next game-changing idea, the next really material way in which we impact our operating costs is not going to come from not the person with James, a person who talks about it. It's going to be about the people who actually do it. You're the ones who are going to discover and help us discover where those efficiencies come from, how to change our operating expense model. Those are all the things that we're going to be looking to you guys who have the expertise now to develop and bring forth as value to us. All right?
Yeah, I think that's sort of an evolution, call it, of where I think our relationship will be going, right? I want it to become much more collaborative, much more two-way, right? Giving us feedback.
So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about the early days of our relationship when we were very small with one another. And coincidentally, this is our 20th anniversary with you folks. But the 20% is, did you guys know that your relationship has grown to the extent that you are 20% of our total workforce? So that's just a coincidence. All right, this is the last slide. I said I would re-emphasize this at the end. You saw this in the sizzle video. This was my favorite slide as related to all of you because, like I said, all these good things I've talked about, all the future things that we're going to,
Our partnership made that happen. This is the slide that says that points right at you. This is the partnership that made that happen. So I just hope that you guys learned a little about Luminaire today, and how glad and happy we are for you. You know, when you're in a relationship with someone, like a real personal relationship, you're not in competition with that person, right? You love that person and you like being with that person. At the end of the day, what makes you happy is good things that happen to those people. So I just want to say that we know we're in a great relationship because we want really good things to happen to you and for us at the same time. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brooke, James, and those words were really inspiring. Also, how can we forget that you've not missed on getting Craig's message for us. Guys, please have a huge round of applause for them.
प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद मिलन
Alright. As we celebrate this incredible milestone, what better way of celebration than having our very own, honoring our very own employees and their achievements who've dedicatedly given their hard work to us. Alright? These are the ones who realized their goals